Hey, I just saw on Facebook where you can go online and get an ADD assessment. Why might this not be a good idea? Stay tuned. Hi, this is GH Glade for Everyday ADD Coaching. Well, you will see a proliferation, particularly on platforms such as Facebook, of you too can go online and see a clinician and get diagnosed with ADD. And there are two companies that have jumped out and actually been sanctioned for this because they were pill mills. These are Cerebro and Done. And others are springing up like mushrooms after the rain to take their place. I have three clients that are from these, and all three of these, the meds were just plain wrong. It has to do with these companies basically being pill mills. Imagine a scenario where you can have no diagnosis. 30 minutes later, you have a prescription in your hand. That characterized Cerebro and Done. I have clients from those, and believe me, they were wrong. They had no adherence to what is a standard of care. An ADD assessment looks at the fact that there are many things that co-occur that may have some overlap in symptoms. These simply do not pick these up. In 30 minutes, you cannot do this. I have one client who is with Done, ironically, and the clinician actually told them, hurry up because you are on a timer. I wouldn't want to work that way as a clinician. And boy, you are selling yourself short in terms of that. And plus, don't thoroughly assess co-occurring disorders like bipolarity. You see bipolarity and ADD oftentimes having a big overlap in symptoms. And what happens if you give someone who is not stabilized in their depression a stimulant? Well, sometimes you can launch them into a full-blown manic episode. And having worked in the ER and seen many of these people, largely by primary care providers, these are not good outcomes. The other thing is a primary care provider. Primary care providers are very good generalists. And unfortunately, they haven't invested the time to really know about these medications, about the fact that there are class effects, about the fact that there are preferential responders to one or the other. And by and large, unless they take the time, and a few will take the time to really know what they're doing, they make a lot of mistakes. I wind up basically kind of fixing those people if they don't wind up in the emergency room because they've rather cavalierly given stimulants to people in their 8 to 12 minute average appointment that really should not be on a stimulant without having other things treated first. So there are a lot of risks in going to somebody that does not have the skill set. Are people with the skill set hard to find? Oh, absolutely. They are really hard to find. There are places that are mental health deserts where you can't even find reasonable primary care providers that do a very good job of treating people. And that's an unfortunate aspect of, just availability of medication providers. What I would suggest is if in your region you have an ADD association, CHAD's one of the big ones, they have local providers, you see if they have a provider list. The only other way is to network, sometimes word of mouth. I have not been a fan of the Facebook ADD sites, and I'll tell you why. These sites prohibit people from going off platform. I joined those with an effort figuring I'll contribute if somebody, has a question. I'll see if I can use my expertise to direct them in the right way. And actually been slapped on the wrist and told you can't give people information that takes them away from the platform. It is unfortunate. They wind up being a good area if you just want to vent, a poor area if you want to really find out any information. But finding other people who have had good experience with a competent provider makes a world of difference. I advise people not use these online services because there's no way to vet the credentials and the history and the expertise, frankly, of the people doing this assessment. And if it's a 30-minute one and done, that's a pill mill. So if this has been helpful for you, I would appreciate you sending it to anyone considering going to such a service for assessment. Click that like button. That helps the algorithm. I would appreciate it if you have had experience with one of these companies. Please write something in the comments. What was that like for you? I am sure other people that have their doubts about what I'm saying would like to hear your comments. So please leave them in the comments. I appreciate this, and I make every effort to respond to every comment. For this week, you have a good week, and thank you for sharing this time with me.